Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime, primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes,
Oh, my God. This is ridiculous.
and Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Welcome in a beautiful Tuesday right here on the First Coast. Let the tagging begin. Tag, you're in. Who played tag when they were kids? Everybody, right?
Yeah, freeze tag, right?
Yeah.
It was a
Everybody
tag or
played
freeze
tag.
tag.
Yeah.
Same thing, right?
And it was fun. Coach
freeze tag. I
Campo
think you're
even
right.
raises his hand as he's in here hanging out.
yeah.
You played tag? Yeah.
Kick the can, tag, anything that you could get to
Yeah.
when you were running.
And it was always fun. And you know what was mainly the I think for parents, the design behind the game tag was what? To wear you out.
Get the hell out of the
When
house.
you're
That's
running.
get out of the house.
When
That's
you're
what the-
running.
Yeah, get out of the house and wear
I've
you
never understood.
out.
Like, my parents, like, every day was get out.
Yeah.
Just get out and come back before the sun comes up. Down.
Yeah. And then basically
That's what
where
we
you
all did.
like honestly, like we got the little babes, Em and Lim now, and so they want to run you ragged, okay? And coach, you know this because you got the little
I
ones
got a
running
bunch
around.
of them, yeah.
Yeah, and they want to. They have all that full head of steam, all the energy in the world. They ain't gonna slow down one bit. If you did it once, they want you to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, tag was a great thing back in the day, but tags in the National Football League ain't so much fun because when you get tagged, you don't get that big contract, right, Leon?
Yeah. You don't get the big contract, but I know people justify it and say, well, you're going to get paid a certain amount of money of the five,
The average of the top five from last year.
But
Yeah.
And I say this, I said, yeah, that's fine for 1 year, but after you, as a player, your longevity in the NFL shrinks every year you play. So you want to get the big money up front,
Right.
and not have to play on those 1 year tags.
Right. Well, and you also could, I feel something in my hamstring, and then, I feel something in my Achilles, and then,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Then that's a
yeah.
big problem.
Yeah,
man.
injuries the
That's
worst.
a
Injuries
big problem.
That's a big concern.
Injuries the worst. And you obviously want to get as much guaranteed for as long as you possibly can. And then let's use T. Higgins as an example. T. Higgins tagged last year. If he gets tagged again, then it's like now you're looking at 34 games that you're having to avoid injury to have a long-term contract.
Yeah,
and that suck.
Not only that, though, I mean, there is something to be able to say, okay, you're going to be in one place for 4 years. I mean, as a family, besides the money obviously is the number one factor. But, when I went to the Cowboys, I was there for 12 years the first time. That was I was before that. I was 1, 3, 2, 3.
A nomad.
That's a little tough.
Yeah.
A little tough on the family. So it's a big deal.
Do you think players are concerned about that? Even in their 20s, you think they're still concerned about it?
Absolutely.
Really?
Especially when you got a young child.
Okay.
Yeah, if you got a young family, you want some kind of stability.
Yeah.
Because you've got your wife there, you got your kid, whether in school or daycare or whatever, and if you're familiar with it, you want to keep them there. You want to raise them up in the school system in the city you're in. You don't want to be moving the kid around. They lose friends. Your wife lose. All that kind of stuff factors in.
And those are the ones that are in your ear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay? They're in your ear
Family,
saying,
yes, absolutely.
come on, Daddy.
you see where everybody jumped up and reacted
Yeah.
when you said that?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
And then Mama's saying, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
And so it can have a great deal of influence on you.
And then Papa says, how about for $25 million?
Exactly.
And then Mama says, where are we going?
Right. And
Yeah,
then-
but I'll tell you this, though. Obviously, I'm in my second marriage for 43 years.
Right.
The first one lasted 7 years, and the real reason was she didn't want to. She just got tired of moving.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot of things involved when
I
you're
don't
making
doubt that, yeah.
and then you found the right one.
Yeah, I got the right one. Absolutely. Lucky man.
Yeah, exactly. But so tag is not necessarily the best news, but it also is financially, it is job security. And you do get paid well. It's not like you're going to get paid minimal or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we got to realize
Well,
that.
here's the reason why I don't like tagging. Which essentially, when I came out in '96, they didn't have the tag. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh would have tagged me when I came out of Pittsburgh. Absolutely. Only reason why I say that is because they say, well, it gives the organization an opportunity to get the man. They knew your contract was coming years and years ago, and they did nothing about it. So they just used the tag as a means to say, okay, it gives us a little bit more time.
As usual.
But at the player's risk.
Stall tactic.
At the player's risk.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a
Also, because it exists, it really brings down all the other salaries in the league. Like that,
it does to an extent. Yeah, absolutely it does. It's more than anything, though. It's a way for them to budget. Honestly, it's a budget factor within the cap.
And I'm not going to fall on the side of the owners all the time, but I do understand the luxury that an owner enjoys by having the tag. He only has one. Only one, and you're trying to keep what you view as a superstar in your uniform instead of someone else's uniform. Right. And so that I get, because you can control them at the very least, and players get ticked off.
I don't understand why millionaires have to get billionaire breaks.
Well,
that's all.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
Hey, maybe the college world's going to teach us pretty soon. Maybe the franchise tag will be out the door before you know it. But today's the day when you can start seeing franchise tags being put on players, and they'll basically go into mid-March, and then we'll find out whether or not they'll reach an actual deadline where if they don't get a deal done, then they're locked in, and the player has until such and such time to sign the contract. But they can be tagged today. So the next question, this is a little bit of a joke. Is there a Jaguar that's going to get tagged?
No. Better not be.
No. Okay, because let me just rattle off the unrestricted free agents that are out there for your Jacksonville Jaguars. There are a bunch of them. Now, you may have restricted free agents as well, but you basically get my point.
Can we just go yes, no, while you want to say these?
Well, Brandon Sheriff. No. Okay, Mac Jones. No. Jeremiah. He of the backflip. No. Blake Hance.
No.
C.J. Beathard. No. Andre Sisco.
No. You are not paying him on the top 5 in the league.
I think that's the essence of this, okay? Because all the other guys that they wanted to lock up, they locked up.
Right.
Whether it's going to work out or not. They gave Hines Allen a big deal. They gave Tyson a big deal. And they gave Trev a huge deal.
And if Andre Sisco had played well this year, they would have put the tag on it.
They might have considered tagging.
And Little. Walker Little.
Yeah.
Although they extended him.
And they signed him. So they at least, at the very least, got ahead of that.
Right.
And that may have been a Trent Baalke decision to say, see, look at these guys I'm drafting. I'm signing them second contracts. And so he got them with that second contract. And there aren't any other guys out there that you're going to have to say, oh, man, we better set aside some cash for this guy.
No, not on this team. No. God.
Meanwhile, if you look around, there are these coveted pieces that are out there like a T. Higgins that this team would love to get their hands on. So the other half of this is you've got those players that you would love to get your hands on, but if T. Higgins is tagged, and we can get into this today, and you guys hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010, or jump in the YouTube chat. You can easily find us on YouTube. Just search 1010XL or click on XL Primetime and watch and throw some commentary in the chat. T. Higgins, if he were to get tagged, you'd have to give the Cincinnati Bengals compensation. Are you willing to part with a first-round draft pick, which happens to be a top 5 pick overall, for a guy like that?
I don't think it would be a first rounder, would it?
Mm-hmm. If it's a franchise tag.
Oh, if he gets franchised.
Franchise.
But he's not franchised yet.
No, it just started today.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So. This is the first day. I mean, that's why I'm posing this question.
Are we going to go against what Shah Khan just said a year ago about spending money on free agents?
No, I'm not. Yeah. I wouldn't give a first round.
No, me neither.
No, absolutely
I would have
not.
a very tough time doing that. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm further down in the draft, I would consider first round capital to give up.
If you're at like 26 or 28, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'll just go back to our conversation that we had last year. This team was picking further down, 17th last year when they started the draft, but we had a ton of conversation about going and getting Brandon Ayuk for that pick. Remember?
I remember.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And we were going to have to pay him. And they weren't able to get Calvin Ridley. I think I would say thankful that they didn't sign Calvin Ridley. He goes to
that was the Baalke master plan, by the way.
Yeah.
He knew that wasn't going to happen.
A $50 million guarantee.
He knew Brian Thomas Jr. would slide to him, too.
Yeah, it was. You do have to give, in the end, you have to give the football gods some credit, and then Trent Baalke for basically trading out of 17 and still getting Brian Thomas Jr. But he wanted to get Calvin Ridley. And so at 17, we were sitting there going, you know what? I'm willing to give up this pick, and let's go ahead and pay that.
There's
that
no
guy.
way he also thought in seven spots after I back out of 17, Brian Thomas is still going to be there. He lucked into that.
No, that's what I say. Football gods. They helped that situation. Right. No question about it. But now you're with a top 5 pick. You've already gotten a dynamic wide receiver. You're not giving up a top 5 pick. No way.
I mean, again, I think he would be a nice piece to have for sure. But I don't know that you're going to give up number 5 and the money.
Do you spend a 5 on another receiver? Matt, is there a receiver out there that's worth a 5 this season coming out?
I mean, I don't know that I would take Ted McMillan with a 5th overall. He's a good player, but that's a 5 overall. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I would do that. I mean, if somebody needed to trade up for a quarterback and you got down to like 9 or 10, maybe.
Right.
Well, the consensus of opinion, and really, I'm just starting to watch those guys now a little bit, but the consensus of opinion that McMillan's, of
he'd be fun
11,
to watch
12, 13, 14, 15.
He'd be fun to watch here, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's good.
And that gives you legit 2 big dudes on the outside.
I'm sure he's good.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning
they're
that.
comparing him to Drake London.
Yeah.
That's
and I was with Drake London.
That's the comparison.
Yeah, I was with him
in Southern Cal.
I know London. Yeah, and I like London now.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Similar, not a burner. Drake isn't a burner, but a really good player.
Yeah, he's fast and big.
Yeah.
He's not blazing. He's not a speed
like
merchant,
Brian
but he's fast and big. He is. He's, in a lot of ways, a lot like Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
Who?
Not
Drake London. When you think now, speed-wise,
not
he's
speed.
Not.
Yeah, Drake doesn't run like Brian Thomas.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Drake and Ted McMillan are very similar. Size, everything. Ted's taller. Because Drake's like what, 6'2"?
6'2", 3, 6'2",
yeah,
and
Ted's
a
like
half.
6'4", I think. But I mean, you're talking about legit 2 big dudes if you had him in.
Yeah, I had Drake taller than that. He's not. Okay, all right. Because I know that he's been a nice target, and when Kirk Cousins was healthy, he was delivering the football to him big time. And then when Michael Penix came in, he was delivering the football to him. He's turned out to be a pretty nice player.
So long story short, no, I don't think that anybody is worthy of a 5 overall pick. I'm not even sure any receiver's worthy of a 10 or 12 overall pick.
No, and look, you gotta.
I mean, unless it's Travis Hunter and you're going to play him at receiver, then I would pick him at 5. Mm-hmm. If he fell to 5,
right? You'd have to look at that long and hard.
Yes, but I also think that everybody in the NFL wants him at corner. I still think as a receiver, you put like 10, 15 pounds on him. Mm-hmm. Ooh,
I love him at corner.
Oh my God, that dude at receiver, that's the real dude.
And then he basically is the lightning round on offense. Okay, and
you're right. You're exactly right. Yeah. He's not polished. Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
I just watched.
But man,
I just watched Super Bowl 30 with Deion Sanders as the guy coming in at offense.
Right.
And we won the game with him coming in on offense. He caught a big pass, and we scored a touchdown on it against Pittsburgh.
And Travis Hunter is Deion Sanders. Yeah, right?
I don't know that they're the same guy, but I'll tell you what,
physical size,
right?
But the idea of
the idea, and the idea is play him at corner and use him on offense.
Yeah, you can use him on offense. I mean, he's not going to be running any crossers. Trust me.
No.
Okay, so he's going to be running 9 routes. Okay, that's what he's going to be running. He's going to be running using
him running.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you, do not do that, especially if you're going to have him at your DB position.
And I look at him. I look at Sauce Gardner as the same. Just a little lighter, okay? Not completely put together. And Sauce has had a little bit of a struggle handling those big wide receivers in the point of attack. And so you do it. That is legit. That is legit. All right, so you guys let us know what you think. 641-1010. We're going to talk free agency with a couple of guys that are out there from the Ravens. Are you interested in them? What will it take? Because free agency, all this stuff has to happen before we start to zero in on the draft. But it's fun looking at both of them in this Jaguars offseason. So join in 641-1010 or hit us up on YouTube.
Come aboard the Frangie Express.
Pedal to the metal right now. Pedal to the metal. All right, let's go.
Frank Frangie.
One with a golden touch.
And Hayes Carline.
So you're the top dog around here.
They are the Frangie Show. Afternoons on 1010XL.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
Transform your bathroom with stunning shower glass from Sky Glass Solutions in Jacksonville Beach. For a free quote, call 904-608-5151 or visit skyglasssolutions.com.
The Combine, free agency, the draft.
We're professionals. We have a job to do, a season to plan.
Follow the road to the regular season with AA Automotive on Richard Street. Family run since 1954 and 1010XL.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Prosser here. No matter what you do, man, you love consistency. And when it comes to selling your home for Chad and Sandy, good times are bad. They're there to help you, and you're going to get the most that you can. The economy actually showing positive signs. Now may be the time to sell your home at the price you want, and it's easy to find out. Get friendly expert help from the Jacksonville agents who are there for you. My agents, Chad and Sandy Newen. Maybe you need more space with a growing family or working from home. Whatever your reasons, Chad and Sandy come through for you as the local real estate experts I trust and recommend. Chad and Sandy, in fact, will guarantee you this. Your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. John and Ursula in Green Meadow said, I was not in great health, so we decided to downside to an easier place to manage. First, we needed to sell our Green Meadows home fast. Unfortunately, after 185 days, our home failed to sell. With another realtor, we made the switch, though, to Chad and Sandy. Sold it in 12 days. You can, too. Go to ChadAndSandy.com or call 414-6200.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Takaloo has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Takaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold hard cash, so you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn Floral Arrangements. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Family owned and managed for 20 plus years, Hidden Hills Golf Club boasts a unique and welcoming atmosphere. Visit us at hiddenhillsgc.com to book your next round on our Arnold Palmer signature course. You'll be glad you did.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Good looking day out there. Get you some sunshine. Soak it up while you can. XL Primetime. Joe C. Big Leon Searcy. Matty Hayes. JJ. And we got our head coach, Dave Campo, hanging out with us. We cranked out a little Campo and Joe podcast earlier, so look for that on any of the social channels, wherever you consume a little extra 1010XL. We definitely appreciate it. That's for sure. So franchise tag day today, and they can go all the way till March 12th before they actually kind of have to solidify everything. That's the last opportunity. I want to say 4 o'clock March 12th, which is Players Week, when you can finally put that tag on a player if you decide to do that. But there's a couple of guys that are going to be out there, free agency right around the corner, and a couple of guys from Baltimore, Ronnie Stanley, who I think we all know pretty well, but then also Patrick McCarry, left guard. Both of them expected to become free agents next month, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do up in Baltimore. And then you got Jair Alexander up in Green Bay. That is another guy. These, at least the Jairs of the world, Matt, are going to be expensive.
Yes, I mean, look, this is going to come down to, once again, a philosophical decision.
Mm-hmm.
Do you draft or do you free agent? And they have not had luck at the guard spot in free agency, okay? They got, remember, Whirly Bird, Andrew Norwell, who was the highest paid guard in the league, and they got bupkis from him, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you got Brandon Sheriff, who probably played, I don't know, combined maybe a season and a half of good football, maybe.
And,
right?
Yeah, crazily, he started all the games.
Right.
But
I don't know how, but he did. He gutted it out like a tough dude.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately, they got him on the down of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you do? So do you draft? Do you spend a second-round pick and a third-round pick on guards? Do you drive, do you go back into the first round, late in the first round, and get the best guard in the draft?
Right.
It's a philosophical decision. Or do you once again throw money at guards and hope it works out for you?
All right, Patrick McCarr, you got it. What do you think of that guy?
I mean, he's a solid left guard.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't imagine the Baltimore Ravens letting both of their blind side protectors go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can talk about both of the guys are free agents. You talk about Stanley, but a little long in the tooth. He's a solid young guard. He's only been in the league 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, if the Super Bowl taught us anything, it taught us that the interior of the offensive line is very important.
Everything.
All right? It's everything. Patrick Mahomes, he couldn't step up on anything because he got guys coming outside, couldn't step up at the middle. He couldn't escape because that guard play. And it was the Chiefs, their offensive line three, the middle three were disappointing because we worried about the tackles so much that they got exposed a little bit in the Super Bowl.
Like their middle three was considered probably the best in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Okay, but here's a dumb question. I'm in charge of dumb questions.
Before Tui went outside.
I was going to say, that's what I want to know.
And Creed and Trey Smith.
Would Joe Tooney have been better inside? But think about the guys that were inside. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
Here's the thing.
It would help a little bit.
It would help a little bit. You know how bad.
I mean, he's an all-pro player.
Yeah.
You know how bad the left tackle had to be that you had to move the left guard to protect the blind side of Patrick Mahomes.
That was a give up.
I don't even want to know.
The left tackle was he had to be a healthy scratch. They didn't want no parts of him in the Super Bowl.
That was an IDK emoji. Okay, jeez. I don't know what else to do. Okay, we're putting him out there. Okay, this falls under the heading of we want our 5 best offensive linemen.
Right, which is what they did.
And they pulled
the old college move. All right, let's just put Tooney out there, man.
They made him go play out there.
I think if they're going to bring in a free agent, it's going to be a corner. That's my opinion. Unless they're going to take him in the draft, but it will be based on what they do. If they take a corner in free agency, they're not taking a corner in the draft. If they don't take a corner in free agency, they might take Johnson at that 5th spot, even though I want him to be Graham. Mm-hmm. But they might do it. But here's the thing: I think we have enough money just to make a splash. And to me, the splash would be the best corner they could get in free agency.
I was going to say Jair Alexander will come with a price.
Yeah, but he's been hurt all the time. That's what about that other corner that's in the draft from? I've just lost his.
Johnson, you're talking about?
No, excuse me, in the free agency.
Oh.
He's in the top 50. He's from, it just slipped my mind. But anyway, that would be the position in my mind because I think you can get a guard in this draft in the second, with their second pick,
right,
or move back up into the first round. We got enough ammunition that you could take one in the late first round.
Could have got him last year, the second round pick too.
Yeah,
but,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to make the decision. It's all based on the decision, just like you said. What the decision making process.
Yeah, it's what you're, whoever the GM is, okay, and we won't know. Hopefully, we'll know soon, right? A week, maybe. Mm-hmm. Whoever that is,
right?
That's the philosophical decision from him,
right?
Yeah,
right. That's so. If Ethan Hall decides I'm going to sign I've already got him penciled in, by the way. I'm going to sign a free agent guard instead of drafting one, which I don't know why. To me, this is just me, my opinion. Philosophically, big guys should always be drafted.
Yeah, because they don't look.
You develop them, and they get
few and far between.
Yes.
You can't let them go.
Yes, but we'll see. I mean,
I want big first 3 picks.
Right. Well,
that's I don't care. I don't
know how many times we have to say this.
I don't know if it's D tackle, O line, or D tackle, O line.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
But the problem is, we're all stupid and they're smart. You have to remember that.
Allegedly,
okay? Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny. All
you guys out there listening, you're stupid too. Yeah. They're smart over there in that building. They know what they're doing. Right?
I've always lived under the heading is there are fewer big men walking the earth that are talented enough to do what they do.
No question.
There's
right, talented big men too, not big men that had a blown knee.
There's a lot of big men, or there's only so many big men walking the earth, and then there's even fewer big men walking the earth that play the game, and even fewer that are good at the game,
and even fewer than that are healthy.
Yeah. And listen, just look at the roster. Listen, we're creatures of habits. Just look at the roster of the Eagles and the D tackle. The D line of the Eagles. Most of those guys are drafted and developed guys on their team.
They all are, except for
it's got to be.
No, I think they all are actually.
Wait a minute. One of the guards.
I'm talking about the D line.
The D line. The D line for sure. I'm just thinking of the offensive line. Mm-hmm. I know the left tackle was drafted and developed. Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, they moved Makai Beckham. They brought him in on the
he's the free agent.
Dickerson was drafted.
So I'm just saying.
Jurgen's drafted.
We beat.
Weird how that works, huh? When you draft somebody and
we
become great players.
We beat a dead horse with this upfront stuff. I told you I just looked at the 1995 Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. How many times did the Philadelphia Eagles blitz in that game?
Mm-hmm.
None. Zero. You know how many times we blitzed against Pittsburgh?
0.
5 times. And 2 of them were interceptions that won the game. Mm-hmm. But 5 times.
So
that's
that
the front that we had.
You knew when to pull the trigger.
I was lucky on that. But
you guys were rotating 8 guys, though.
They
all were good.
I'm talking about the front guys you got.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You can't. It isn't because what's his name, the coordinator at the Eagles.
Vic Fangio.
It's not that he didn't want to blitz. He didn't have to blitz.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Right. And by the way, I think the only guy you guys had that wasn't drafted was Hennings, right?
Talk about Chad Hennings?
Was Chad Hennings drafted by you guys, or you got him in Plan B?
We drafted Chad.
Or was it Tony Casillas you got in Plan B? Who did you get in Plan B?
No, Casillas was drafted, but it wasn't drafted by us.
Right, so he was the only guy that wasn't drafted by you guys.
The rest of the guys were all our guys.
Right, your offensive line, those great teams, all drafted.
Yeah, see, some of them were there before we got
right, but they were all drafted.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You start.
That's the old Cowboys fan of me.
Yeah, I know. You know that. You know it better than I do.
All right, so let's make this the 10-10 take because this will tie the two things together because we haven't brought this up necessarily just yet.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
I'll use Sonny's as the example since 1968. The recipes are in the building. and they're staying in the building. So when you find success, you stay there. And Sundays all over the First Coast, you can enjoy delicious, delicious barbecue. And they got great deals right now, including all-you-can-eat ribs under $20. So make sure you go check it out. But we haven't brought up the GM. We'll bring it up because we were talking about all the other stuff. And the GM's going to have to make some of these important decisions. But to y'all's point, and what we have all preached, is that you have to make sure that you succeed in April way more than when you succeed in February. Draft success will parlay long-term success versus free agency, which will parlay short-term success. Right. There's no other way to say it. You can sprinkle in free agents here or there, but damn it, if you don't have a good draft class year after year after year, you are not going to succeed. That is the 10-10 take. It's simple as that. So we transfer to the GM decision, and of the candidates, sans Ethan Waugh. Okay, at the very least, Ethan was
he is the candidate, Joe.
I'm just saying, no, he ain't the candidate. Okay, quit saying that. I'm just telling you. I love when he tries to get me all fired up. Do you really think he's the candidate? Huh?
Yeah.
Do you really think so?
We'll see.
They interviewed double-digit candidates, and you're telling me that he's the candidate?
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Anyway, the other guys are from buildings or resumes that have had success. And you think about the guys that are the 5 finalists from San Francisco, from Green Bay, from LA, and as we said, one from here, and then one from Chicago, which has ties back to Baltimore and Philadelphia. Those are all successful places. And that's what they're looking for, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at guys who's making personnel decisions when it comes to drafting and evaluating talent. I mean, because anybody can go out there and spend money. Hey, Shaw, spend money on this guy. But can you go out and draft the talent, develop the talent to where he doesn't have to spend money in free agency? That's what I'm looking for. If any of those guys got that kind of resume, that's the GM I want here in Jacksonville, for sure.
Matt was just trying to fire me up.
Of course it was.
So
Matt
not only that, it's just here's the thing too with the draft.
Habitual line stepper. You are. You're a habitual line stepper.
Yes. So
I have no problem with that.
All right. So here's the thing, and this is the way, and Dave can speak to this as well. Is it doesn't have to be a high draft pick on the offensive line. You have to do your scouting diligence and find these guys. Stepnowski was a late-round pick. Nate Newton was a late-round pick. Larry Allen was a what? 3rd or 4th rounder, right?
Yeah, Stepnowski wasn't. Stepnowski was up there pretty high.
He was a second
Tuanay. Where was Tuanay?
Well, Tuanay was a defensive player.
Right. And then Eric Williams was like a project.
Yeah,
he was third
exactly. So Leon, all the guys.
That's like the best offensive lineman that's the best offensive line in the 90s right there. None of them were like elite guys.
Well, I think we can go back. We can find examples that will support arguments on both sides because the Dallas Cowboys, the most recent vintage great offensive line, were very high
high draft picks.
Yeah,
right.
very high draft picks.
But my point is Jimmy's idea was the offensive line there. Jimmy spent his high picks on the defensive line, right?
Correct.
That's where the high picks went.
Yeah, and he reached when others wouldn't on the defensive side.
A perfect example is Tony Tolbert. Tony Tolbert was a 6'5", 230-pound outside linebacker. A year and a half later, he was 275, and he was a defensive end.
Yeah. But
he was a defensive end.
He was a bad man, too.
He was a good player.
All right, so as we wrap this up, the other successful franchises, because we've been screaming, you've got to build that interior offensive line, that interior defensive line, so on and so forth. The Philadelphia Eagles are a great example. They went high on the defensive line with both Davis and Carter, but they went not middle rounds, but after the first rounds with key pieces on their offensive line. When you take a look at Jurgens and Dickerson, they were not first-round draft picks. They are valuable players, but you don't need to reach as long as you're doing your job throughout the rounds.
And this is a copycat league. You're familiar with how the Eagles won the game up front, defensive, offensive line. Now, there's going to be more attention to offensive line, defensive line because of what we saw in the Super Bowl, the dominance of both sides of the ball.
He should have been the GM last year because he's been yelling about it for 3 years now.
Yeah,
and nobody listens. I'm just the idiot on the text.
No. I listen to you.
I know. I want to put him in charge for more than 1 year and see how he does. That's all. It is XL Primetime.
The radio station built in Jacksonville for Jacksonville. 1010XL.
If you've played sports or still lead an active life, chances are joint pain is nothing new. This is Dr. George Barry of Barry Orthopedics, and we like to be your option when it comes to taking care of your body and getting back in the game. From shoulders to elbows to hip and knee pain, Barry Orthopedics can diagnose and treat a variety of injuries that are causing you pain. We are Barry Orthopedics and online at barryorthopedics.com. With more than 30 years of experience, our team is here to care for your entire family.
Find out more at barryorthopedics.com. That's BAHRI orthopedics.com.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law. Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it work. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, what's the matter?
I don't know about this air conditioner, Jason.
You know, my job is actually to...
I mean, 1 minute it's working, and the next minute it's not working. Every time I leave the house, I don't know if I'm coming back to a nice, cool oasis or a steaming cesspool of sweaty garbage fumes and dog farts, and then I'll never get to sleep. And I'll be too late to call someone. And what if I've got a big meeting the next morning and I haven't slept a wink?
Okay, dude. Stay cool. Or at least stay cooler.
But
Bueller Air and Plumbing can figure out why your AC only works sometimes and not all the time. We fix that kind of stuff every day.
You mean you can...
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all your time worrying about an air conditioner that can totally be fixed, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 18, 1981, 20-year-old Edmonton center Wayne Gretzky becomes the first player in NHL history to score 5 career hat tricks before age 21.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Michelle McManaman, 2016 Chair of the Players and CEO of Operation New Uniform, a nonprofit that equips veterans with the skills to succeed in business. It's 21 days until the Players.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
We got our head coach, Dave Campo, hanging out with us one more segment before we kiss him goodbye. and get ready to get into some college football.
You're making it sound like forever. I'm not going anywhere.
Just kiss you goodbye for today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's for sure. We ain't letting. You're hanging. You're part of us, man.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And you were trying to think of one of the guys that was among the top 50 free agents at the cornerback position. And Jair's going to be expensive. We know that when he comes on the market. But you were thinking of Carlton Davis with Detroit.
Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so just a little quick primer on him. The Bucs traded Davis to the Lions in the offseason. One of the guys that was able to step in there with Aaron Glenn in that defense. And towards the end, they really started to tighten things up. When Aiden Hutchinson went down with the injury, they just seemed to be a little more susceptible to big plays.
Yeah.
Why? Because they didn't have the pass rush. And you know how quickly that can happen. But Davis is a guy, and I kind of remember this. They had so many guys that ended up on injured reserve that a lot of them were able to play their way back and come back towards the end. But he had a fractured jaw.
Yeah.
In week 15.
Right.
And I had a broken jaw from an auto accident. I could totally sympathize with what he was going through. Yeah. But he was one of the guys. So it was one of those vicious hits and fractured his jaw.
Yeah, because he's a good tackler. Mm-hmm. So he stuck his nose in there too many times, I guess.
So forced incompletion rate. This is PFF.
Right.
Close to 15% from him. Single coverage grades over 50%. Coverage grades with no pressure, 73%. Anyway, not bad.
No.
One of the guys that you definitely would be looking at as far as the corner if they were to go out there in the free agent. And they still may look long and hard at the draft board and say if a Travis Hunter is there or someone else is there a little bit later.
I mean, they're only going one of two ways in free agency, you would think, right?
That's right.
It's either going to be corner or big guy.
That's it.
Or an interior lineman.
Yeah, that's what I mean, a big guy.
Yeah, okay, I thought you meant just,
corner or
speaking.
big.
Yeah.
Big anywhere, either side of the ball.
I would go, well, I'll tell you what, I would go the interior defensive line as well. Williams got a couple of sacks in the Super Bowl. I don't know what he's going to cost, but he's going to be a free agent. He's one of the guys that you can keep your eye on.
I think you're saying big. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about the
interior
lineman on both sides.
Right.
Both sides
You're saying both sides.
Bigs are corner.
If I was picking right now, I'm picking Graham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go Mason Graham in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you and Leon identified him quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want that interior defensive guy.
There's two of them. Grant's not bad either. The other guy.
Yeah, I mean, Grant, he's projected late first, early second. So, I mean,
Trade back in at first and get him now.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two guys.
Yeah.
The way I saw this team play last year.
Bro, I'm all right with DT.
I love it.
I'm fine with that.
I take it all day.
I don't care if you're paying one guy, he's in the third year of his deal you get. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
If Devon Hano can't beat him out, he's a backup. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the key free agents.
Armstead, same thing.
Yeah, key free agents for the Eagles. Milton Williams, like I said, 2 sacks in the Super Bowl. Dude probably made some coin, which means you're probably going to have to – he's going to think he's going to fetch a bigger price, kind of like Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat thought he should have been named the MVP.
Yeah, I like that.
And so both Williams and Josh Sweat on that defensive front are going to be free agents. Zach Bond, Reed Blankenship, 2 other guys on the defensive side, they're going to be free agents.
I mean, I love Sweat. He's not Nolan Smith. He is not Nolan Smith, man.
But he's been very productive for most of his career.
Go watch that Baldinger breakdown of Nolan Smith in the Super Bowl. You're going to be like, oh, my God.
Yeah, but Sweat did some work there, too.
So did Nolan Smith in the second half of the season. He became, he literally developed in the second half into like a beast.
But the other free agent that we were just briefly talking about is Mekhi Becton reinvigorated his career.
Oh, absolutely.
From being an utter disappointment at tackle to moving inside playing guard.
He was considered a bust. He was. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was a first-round pick, offensive lineman, goes into New York. I mean, overweight, conditioning problems, couldn't stay healthy. All those things factored in. And the Eagles got him on the cheap and moved him interiorly. Because, listen, when you're a tackle, essentially, when they move you inside, that's letting you know that you're one step out the door.
Yeah.
Because I knew when the Dolphins moved me inside, I said, okay. It's not going to be long. Basically, they're saying we can't utilize you out there anymore, move inside.
Right.
So Mekhi was in a situation that if he didn't have any success at guard, he probably wouldn't be in the league right now.
Yeah.
So that he was one step out the door. So to see him resurgent his career, now, I mean, he's going to go out there. See, only unfortunate thing about when you win the Super Bowl, The goal is to win the Super Bowl, and now the goal is to get the cash.
Right.
And the guy's like, I got the ring. It's time to get the bread.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to keep the band together.
Get it as quickly as you can. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get in the college football playoff, before we say goodbye to Coach JJ, did we get? I forgot whether we did get a ruling from Skoggs. He of Hawaii said that there's no question that is a ukulele over the mandolin. Okay, so
you guys never believe me, man.
No, listen. I had to go to the Hawaii. I had to go to the Hawaii man for official.
First off, I'm not so sold with Skoggs in Hawaii. I don't know how long you lived there. It might have been like a brief little.
I don't care. Skoggs said it's from
flirtation.
Hawaii, and I took his word for it.
Talk about what's playing right
I love
now.
Skoggs.
Yeah, ukulele.
That's a ukulele.
Of course it is. Thank you.
Listen, Leon and I thought we had a little rum in our belly. We thought it might have been a mandolin.
Listen, I was at a luau in Hawaii, and I know damn well with no ukulele. Okay, what y'all say? That was
All right, so it's time for, if you will, JJ.
I was looking at it.
Perfecto!
Okay, Perfecto, brought to you by Pacifico, a delicious Mexican lager imported from Baja, found in Baja, imported by surfers for those who live life. Anchors up. I had a couple leftover questions from the Super Bowl. So since we were talking about that pass rush and basically the lines of scrimmage that the Philadelphia Eagles have had, Nick Sirianni, third coach all time to make the Super Bowl twice in his first 4 seasons as a head coach, joining who?
Wait, say it again.
Nick Sirianni, third head coach all time to make the Super Bowl twice in his first 4 seasons as a head coach.
Sean McVay?
Joining who?
Mike Shanahan?
These are good guesses.
Jimmy was in 5, so it was there for 5 years.
2 Super Bowls in the first 4.
First 4?
Yeah, so I say Jimmy was at 5. It took him 5.
5, right.
Yeah.
Bill Walsh.
No, you guys are
George Seifert?
all around it.
George Seifert?
Nope.
No.
I'll put it to you this way: one is falls a little bit back in that older land, and then the other one much more recent.
Marv Levy?
Nope.
It's not Shula, is it?
Nope. Like I said, you guys were all around it there just for a little bit.
What about Mike Tomlin?
We got one. Okay. Mike Tomlin, 2008 and 2010. So that's
the other one. Is the other one old school?
Yeah, older school for sure.
Older
yeah.
school. All right.
And like I said, the names you guys, he was a contemporary of them. Mike Tomlin obviously is still a current head coach, and anyone riding around right now, Steelers when's he going to get back there? Because he's made.
When's he going to win a playoff game?
It's crazy. They're now, 0-6 in their last half dozen playoff games? I'm pretty sure is the number. Anyway, he made it to the Super Bowl, winning 1, but did it in 8 and 10. The other guy, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't know who.
He won with 3 different quarterbacks.
Dang.
Joe Gibbs.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Joe Gibbs did it in 1982 and 83, and then went on and won again. But he had Doug Williams, Joe Theismann, Mark Rippon.
Yeah.
So anyway, Gibbs and Tomlin, the 2 guys that did it in their first 4 seasons, which is pretty good. And Nick Sirianni, like I said, we at times we left him for dead. We said this guy's cooked. Yeah. He's fighting with the fans, which is so Philadelphia, as far as back and forth, jawing back and forth with the fans in the stands and so on. And then,
he's still also getting 0 credit for the Super Bowl, which as an Italian American really bothers me.
Yeah.
Like how he's getting
all of it,
all of the credit.
You better believe it
for building the team, and it's like, yeah, okay, I fully understand that.
All right, so let's go through the list.
He's still the head coach. They won like 15 straight games, or 15 out of 16. Like the guy obviously is pretty good at his job.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But let's go through the list. All right, who are you thanking Philadelphia for the Super Bowl? Who's most responsible? It'll be Howie.
Yeah.
And then it'll be Jalen.
Saquon.
Just recently, Jalen. Then Saquon.
Jalen Carter.
Then the defense.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fangio.
Fangio. Yeah.
Rocky.
And then Jeffrey.
Rocky.
And then finally,
everybody but.
Yeah. He is. He's a little disrespected. He's like the Rodney Dangerfield of head coaches right now. But that is kind of where he's at. but he's reclaimed his reputation, that's for sure. And now, once you get that, you finally got the Super Bowl ring. They have had 2 coaches with Super Bowl success. Doug Peterson, of course, with the statue, and Nick Foles and all that. And we'll see what Sirianni ends up being.
Does Sirianni get the statue now?
I was just thinking.
Sirianni and Jalen?
The only reason they built that statue, well, actually not the only reason, but because they were looking up at Boston and New York for so long, and they finally picked off Boston, and it was the Philly special.
It was like their first one, and was that their first one ever?
Yeah, they had never won.
So it's never as big after that. Like, look at the Red Sox titles since 2004.
Right.
It's like it's not the same.
And they can use the logic that they built the statue because of the Philly special, not because it was Doug and Nick. Because Nick Foles statue.
Either way, he's got a statue of himself outside a stadium.
He does.
Forever.
He does. Never take it away from him.
Never.
Yeah. All right, Coach. We unfortunately ran out of time. We enjoyed our visit with you, as always.
Absolutely.
We will see you on Friday?
Absolutely.
All right. Coach Campo hanging out with us. Don't forget Campo and Joe with our podcast. Check it out on all the social channels. We get into the 3 o'clock hour. More of free agency, tag talk, draft talk, and then the college football playoff expanding. Shot.
Every game is a story.
And the game is tied.
Every play is a moment waiting to happen.
We're going to overtime.
Your home for the most play-by-play is 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a beautiful walk-in closet that's already so incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 1-800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com. And take advantage of extended savings this month. Get 40% off and another 15% off with 18-month special financing.
Duck Rooter is the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, and we want to help you protect your septic system. Think about this. What would happen to your car if you never changed the oil? Septic systems are no different and should be pumped at least every 3 years. Lack of maintenance is the #1 reason for septic system failure. Call Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services today to schedule your pumping.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Wing Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey, this is David with Royal Pest Services. The fact that we've been bundled up the past month gave us an idea. Let's bundle up also with our Centricon and Pest Control bundle, starting at $349. Visit RoyalPestServices.com for your free inspection.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. Propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet. Football season may be over, but there's plenty of action everywhere else. Not sure what to bet on? Check out the Discover page at Hard Rock Bet. You can download the app or head to hardrock.bet. College basketball, we're closing in on the biggest tournament of the year. Don't go in blind. Bet on the action today. Hard Rock Bet, download the app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
February is Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center will help you take charge of your well-being. Their new location at World Golf Village off I-95 now provides screenings for prostate, bladder, and colorectal cancers. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
I'm Max Fink, here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Two-way player from the Orlando Magic and their G League affiliate Osceola Magic, Mac McClung made some history over the weekend, becoming the first player to ever win the dunk contest 3 years in a row. McClung, a star-studded dunker since his high school days, is still grinding for NBA minutes. McClung spoke about how he differentiates his success in the dunk contest from his path to being a full-time NBA player after Saturday's win.
I think it was funny, coming into college after high school, I tried to get away from dunking. I wasn't dunking in games. I just wanted to be people to know I could hoop. It's funny, this opportunity came. You just got to follow God's, footsteps for you. And I think, I don't think the dunk contest really wavers my NBA career. I think the pressure I'm applying in the G League does. And, I hope that's what people see in Scout City.
It's 64 degrees at 2:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, so a couple very important NFL headlines. Two quarterbacks have both gotten haircuts. And one is Patrick Mahomes, and he got sort of the poof down a little bit. But the other one, if you're driving right now, please pull over immediately. Search on Twitter Lamar Jackson. It's something else.
What?
Leon, how would you describe
that? Well, I mean, he did have he had the dreads before, the twist.
Yeah, he just had the twist. He didn't have the
twist. He had the dreads. He had this twist right now.
Let me explain to everybody what it is. It's the Trevor Lawrence look.
Yes. Okay, that's a good way to put it.
It's exactly what it is.
Trevor Lawrence.
He looks like Trevor Lawrence.
The other way I was going to put it is that he just went from Lamar to Lamary is the way I was going to put it, because he's just got long hair. and it looks like
straight.
I ain't gonna let y'all talk about El Boogie like that.
It's Lamary.
I'm with you. I love El Boogie.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he represented himself and gave the double shotgun to everybody, and I can do this, and then did it. I love all that. But that haircut, bro, or that hair.
Well, it's not a haircut. I mean, he's in the salon, okay?
Yeah, I don't think
he's going to keep it like that. Who knows?
I don't know.
Jimmy Butler, is infamous for his picture day photo with the heat with hair like that.
Yeah, it's almost Jimmy Butler, but a lot longer.
Way
longer. A lot longer.
He's more P-Funk. I mean, he's taking it back a little bit. That's that's the 70s blowout.
Yes. Ain't no way
that's the 70s lay down.
All right, you guys look, and I never really knew.
Wrong with that.
I think I love it actually.
I never really knew what split ends were, but I think I see them now. And
they're just frayed, Joe.
Yeah, is that what it is? Just kind of frayed.
Yeah.
It looks like it's on fire.
When he got his hair like that means he had a curling iron to his head.
Yeah. Had to, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what that's laid down inside and fried.
Does he not? I mean, does he not look like it's Trevor Lawrence cut?
No,
right?
I hope not. God.
Well, he definitely looks like he's got the straightener on it.
Yeah, he's a hot comb to he went to that head. I'm just saying that right now. Hot comb went to that head.
All right.
Now, does Trevor come out with a new haircut, shaved head look?
What is he going to do with the hair flip?
He hasn't have a shaved head since like his sophomore year in high school.
That hair
freshman
flip
year in high school. Yeah,
because he's got the Camaro.
It's his whole brand. He can't get rid of that.
He can't. You wouldn't think. Although. You never know, man. You got to shake it up at this point.
Do you care about winning at all?
You got 68 turnovers in 4 seasons. Shake it up somehow.
Guarantee you, week 3, if they start out 0-3 or 1-2, someone's going to text and say, "Will you tell him to cut his damn hair?" It will definitely be a text. And I just laugh.
Yeah, we've gotten that text many a time.
Yeah, as if that's going to change what's going on. But Trevor's, hey, listen, the ladies love it. They love it.
This guy in the text line says Lamar looks like Cousin It from the Addams Family.
We're getting there.
Look at that doing your man like that. Come on.
Hey man, listen, they on them hard. I don't know why these they got to let everybody know what they're doing. We don't. The whole world don't need to see.
They love it.
Jeez. We're too revelative in this world. Everybody don't need to know.
Andre 3000. I'm seeing a lot of that from that.
The
I forget what video. Hey Now video.
Hey Now video. Yeah,
that is a little bit of love me, isn't it?
That's a little Andre 3000. I give him that. It is a little Andre 3000. Yeah.
And Lamar, for what it's worth, he's just trying to shake it up, okay? Because he's got to win more than one playoff game a year, and so he's trying to break. This is, you know what this could be? A slump buster. He's just trying to do anything he possibly can to change it up. Anyway,
I don't blame him.
That's our point with Trev.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It is true. He does fall in that category. He's only won one playoff game 1 year. Lamar gets back there every year. He just hasn't been able to win more than one each year. So Trevor, he did have some interesting things to say about T. Higgins, along with everything else that he was talking about with Kay Adams as far as the Pittsburgh chatter and all that. And he did go back to his college days, talking about how he and T had some pretty good times together. And then he said all the standard politically correct things that, hey, Jaguars got a good team. And, if he's already on that team and this, and this, because we don't know exactly what's going to happen with him. But that was kind of how we started our show with T. Higgins. But those two were stars in college. So I'm going to use that as our segue to come back to college because we keep talking about what we're going to talk about with the college football playoff. Matt, you have been saying this for a while. It really does make me laugh. As much of a college football fan as I am, and we all are, they made a dramatic, profound, huge change, and then they couldn't wait to change it again. It is kind of comical when you think of that.
It's not that they couldn't wait to change it again. Like if you go at usatoday.com right now and you read this, you'll see. You read my column, you'll see what this is about.
So let's tell everybody what it is.
So this isn't about expanding the playoff. That's part of the process. They are dying on the vine right now financially. Okay, you're talking about now as
who is they?
The power. Now listen, the Power 4 conferences. Okay, if you're the Big 12 teams get about $36 million in media rights annually. Okay,
dying on the vine.
Now hang on. Beginning July 1. Pay for play is $20 million. So more than 50% of what they get from media rights revenue is going to go to pay for play for all athletes, not just football, all athletes. Now, wait.
Okay, so that gets spread out?
You can spend up to $20 million. You don't have to. But if you don't, guess where you're going to be? Way behind. So they're all going to spend it, okay? So now,
Explain that.
So now they're all. You don't have to spend $20 million.
There's a ceiling.
That's the most you can spend.
There's no floor.
There is no floor. There's a ceiling.
But just to distinguish, so everybody understands this, because there's a lot of information out there. Is that NIL money or is that pay for play?
No,
that's pay for play.
Strictly pay for play. NIL money is completely different.
How is it that you don't have to spend that much and it can be spread among multiple sports?
It's not that it can. It has to be. It's everybody.
Okay.
Like all athletes are getting paid. It's just a matter of how much they're getting paid.
Okay. Right.
You don't have to pay everybody the same amount.
So just the other part that I was thinking of is they're already allocating the big boys, the big universities, $20 million to the players in NIL. And now
no, they're not. No, they're not. Well, they're just trying to get as much money as they can.
Right, but that's the operation they're working. That's the budget they're working on right now.
Well, some of them are working on more than that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. At a minimum.
So right. So the point is this is a financial question right now for them. Mm-hmm. This really isn't a. Well, let's blow the playoff. It was great. We're already going to change it. No, this is literally okay. How do we get more games so ESPN, Fox, CBS, and NBC will say we're going to pay you more money? So that can help your revenue shortfall of paying players, okay? Well, so it's not the playoff. The playoff's either going to be 14 or 16 teams, okay? My guess is it's probably going to be 16, starting in 2026, okay? 2025 will not change. My guess is nothing will change from it, okay? Well, specifically, the 12th team isn't changing 100%.
Right.
But I don't think
this year is going to be the way it was last year.
I think it's going to be the same thing next year. Now, in 26, they're looking at championship week, which is typically just the championship games, the SEC, the Big 12, the ACC,
right?
The Power 4 conferences, and then the other guys do theirs too, but they're not as much of a factor, right? So they're now going to turn championship week into a CFP play-in week. It'll still be championship week, but like for instance, Georgia and Texas play in the SEC championship game. The next 6 in the standings will play 3 versus 8, 4 versus 7, 5 versus 6. Okay.
Man,
the 4 winners of those games automatically go to the playoff. Now, immediately you say, well, what about
the NBA play-in?
Hang on. Hang on. So then you say, first, let me say this. So you go from 4 games of significance on championship week, the 4 Power Conference championship games, to 16.
All right. You can't ignore the Mountain West. They got a top seed in there this last go-around.
You go to 16 games, Joe, of significance. So now you're seeing where the money's coming from, okay?
Yeah, that I get.
Now, the immediate question for the scenario I just threw out there is, are you telling me the team that finishes second in the SEC, that loses in the SEC championship game,
is not
Texas loses in overtime or wherever, that they're not automatically in?
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah, of course.
So hang on. They're not automatically in, but they would get in as an at-large. But my point is,
from a selection committee.
My point is the leagues, specifically the SEC and the Big Ten, don't want to minimize their winning a championship in the SEC or the Big Ten. So that's the way to do that. So this is about expanding not only the playoff but championship week.
Okay, you're also completely burying the lead, dude. Like the story wasn't just that; it was that the Big Ten and the SEC will have sole power over.
They've always had that for a year,
but officially, and they've
had it for a year officially. They've always had
the SEC and the Big Ten are the only 2 conferences that will have a say in anything that happens. They said, we'll take input from everybody else, but at the end of the day, we are the only 2 that have any votes to change anything.
That's been on the board for like probably 15
No, it
or
has
16
not been
months.
official. Like nothing was written in stone like that until now.
Yes, it was. It was part of the agreement they
Everyone
made.
had equal say before.
Are you gonna let me talk? It was part of the original agreement they made for the new contract that begins in 26. The old contract, they need to have a unanimous vote for anything to change within the structure.
And that's over.
Now it's over. Now it's basically the SEC and the Big Ten are running the ship.
Yeah. The other part of this is that the crazy part of it is that we argue back and forth about the popularity, and you say it's never been more popular, and yet they are right now picking up couch cushions looking for money to figure out how to pay.
Well, only because they have to pay players, right?
Exactly.
And they don't want to. Here's the best point. And Trev Alvers made the best point of all. He's the AD at Texas A&M. He said, we don't have a revenue generation problem. We have a budget problem. And he's right.
Well, because they've been collecting all the cash forever.
Right. They just keep spending money. They just keep building facilities. They just keep paying coaches to not coach, like Texas A&M, paying Jimbo Fisher $70 million, $75 million. He's right. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. But the bottom line is the most popular thing right now on cable TV is live sports.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So the better games you have, the more games you sell, the more money you're going to make.
Mm-hmm. And the Big 10 and the SEC are behemoths. We know that. Now everyone else is trying to figure out how to stay in the room with them, but the power that the commissioners have and the actual programs that are putting the product on the field, they're going to be able to dictate this. And we're going to find out how many they're going to grow to. This is so funny in college. Once you have this evolution from 4 to 12 and then almost instantly going from 12 to 14 to 16, now the NCAA is looking at expanding the college basketball.
Well, that's not the football's not the only thing being expanded. Yeah. The NCAA tournament, men's and women's, will expand.
You got to love this.
Hang on. The College World Series, baseball and softball, will expand.
Everyone will be part of everything.
They're trying to get more games of significance in. It's a tournament sport. It's a tournament, whatever you want to call it, association. The NCAA is all about tournaments. Mm-hmm. So the more emphasis they put on tournaments, the more emphasis they put on playing into the big moment, the big tournament, the more TV's going to go, yes, more. And here's more money for it.
I think the NBA had it right with that tournament to start the year, that they should just start right then and just make it a tournament the entire time to keep people's eyes on it.
The whole season should just be a tournament.
We're being duped, bro.
Which it actually was when the regular season meant something. That was the cool thing about college football's regular season, but that argument's over. You're still going back now.
You can't argue that the regular season wasn't good last year. You cannot argue that, JJ.
I can argue that so many of those games, the result was actually meaningless.
Yeah. Was the Florida Ole Miss game meaningless for Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Cost them a playoff spot.
Guess what?
Was the Alabama-Oklahoma game meaningless for Alabama?
They'll be in it next time because the SEC will have 4 people that automatically get in every single time now, which you didn't say when you were explaining all this, how the SEC will have
it's not done yet.
At least 4 teams will be locked in from the SEC no matter what. And you sort of did say it because they're going to have that tournament at the end of the year, which exciting is that going to be?
It's not complete yet. They're negotiating.
Okay, well, we're a radio show. We're talking about things that are in the news.
The reality is it more than likely will be 4. It could be 5. Who knows?
It will be more than 4.
If it goes to 16, it could be 5.
The worst thing that happened was Tennessee getting paddled by Ohio State up on the road when the SEC felt like they could poke their chest out, and they didn't look that good. And that was one of their teams that they were hoping would be able to get the job done. Georgia played their tail off and then had the injured quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They played their tail off
against Notre Dame.
I didn't get to finish.
I know.
They played their tail off and then had their injured quarterback, and that was the one thing that obviously held them back mightily in that game. So anyway, the SEC didn't come out looking as good.
Texas almost lost to Arizona State.
Yeah, but we all would agree that for the most part, seeing those other teams replacing SEC teams didn't make more eyeballs come into the game, come into the product. They did not.
No, even Notre Dame, which is a huge property. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and the SEC still can wave the banner.
No, I was saying that.
Saturday's conference.
I was saying that at the end of the season, like you had Ohio State and Notre Dame, 2 of the biggest sports properties in college sports, and the ratings were down.
Yeah, it was the third lowest.
So it's,
history.
I think people want the SEC, and you want the SEC on that wall. Mm-hmm. You need them. On that wall. They do, because it's whether you like them or hate them that you want to see them in that game.
Mm-hmm. All right, so a little more college football coming up. Paul Feinbaum calling out Mark Stoops. The nerve of him.
By the way, did you see Skoggs' response to? I don't know about Skoggs in his Hawaii.
Yeah.
So he sends this text of about 8 bullet points of why he's a Hawaii expert.
He's Mr. Ukulele.
One of them is celebrated my honeymoon in Hawaii in 1991. Customer meetings in Hawaii in 2021.
He is Hawaii, okay? I can't picture him without a Hawaiian shirt, all right? He is.
His mother was born in Hawaii, too. So
that's right. Exactly right. It's XL Primetime.
He was born there, too.
1010XL is your hometown team.
Everything's a challenge. Through adversity to the stars. From the last minute to the last man, we fight. We fight. We fight. We fight. We fight. We fight.
1010XL, where sports fans get together.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice, watch the roulette wheel spin, and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star, sip cocktails that shimmer, then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now, only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-10-MINUTE.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation, with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Don't miss the Players Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scotty Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Epic announcement. It's been cold in Florida. Epic Cool Heating and Air will tune up that furnace and keep you epically warm. Stay epically comfortable and visit epichvacservice.com. That's epichvacservice.com.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Taco Lou has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
Hey, where's your sense of adventure?
They don't cook, but they serve up spicy sports talk.
Sure, it's on the menu.
Helmets and heels.
That is a meal.
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Don't miss the biggest basketball rivalry in the city as your UNF Ospreys welcome the JU Dolphins in the River City Rumble. Thursday, February 20th at UNF Arena. North Florida continues ASUN Conference play at home with JU Thursday, February 20th at UNF Arena, tipping off at 8. Visit UNFOspreys.com/buy tickets now to secure your seats. UNFOspreys.com/buy tickets now. Swoop!
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. When a client reaches the goal that they've set, they are so proud of themselves. They are so thrilled with how they look and how they feel. They are ready to take on the next thing. And that's one thing about weight loss. It's so much more than a number on a scale. It's about self-respect. It's a momentum thing. Now that I've lost 50 pounds, wow, there's no reason why I can't do this next thing that initially seemed so daunting, but now I know I can do it. The celebration is not just how much better you look and feel, but how much more self-respect you have. We get on a track of success at Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless success. Bring your goals to Awaken 180, then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has gone off-road. And Greg, you got something really cool coming up this Saturday.
This Saturday, we're going to be out at North Florida Motocross Track from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with the new Triumph 250 and 450 ready to ride.
Triumph's been on-road forever, but now they're off-road.
They are off-road. It's a championship bike built by Ricky Carmichael, and it is bad to the bone.
I got to love it. Got to see it. Check it out. Triumph Off-Road. All the details are on Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
The First Coast Games is an annual team building challenge to introduce fun activities into the workplace and focus on your employees' health and wellness goals. These goals include some friendly competition, of course, including pickleball, cornhole, volleyball, flag football, and other team sports. The games will begin in March. Register your company and teams at fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I usually don't like to use a that for one of the rivals, like the hated Houston Texans. But this is worth pointing out. Joe Mixon criticized the officials against with their game against the Kansas City Chiefs and basically said, here's his quote, "Why play the game if every 50-50 call goes with Kansas City?" Well, he was fined $25,000, and we all know what came out of all that.
$25K for that?
Yeah. So he wins his appeal.
Good for him.
And will not be charged. And I thought it was kind of interesting that the hearing officer of this back and forth, whether he should be made to pay that $25,000 fine, Chris Palmer, former NFL
Jags
coach,
OC.
former Jaguars offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He is the hearing officer for the National Football
I thought you were going to say, I thought it was kind of funny that the hearing officer said, well, he's kind of right, 50-50.
Here's his quote. This is Chris Palmer. During the appeal hearing, you stated that you meant by your statements referring to the officials. As you know, statements can be interpreted differently by every individual, yada, yada, yada. But they did rescind the fine. So that's actually...
how could that thing be interpreted other than the refs
they were in it for Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah.
Favoritism for Kansas City.
Yeah. And so, but we were all in it against Kansas City at some point or another, especially when you go to the Buffalo game and they didn't give Buffalo that fourth down.
That was the worst call ever. Seriously.
Oh, it was so bad. But there were, I think even in the Super Bowl.
I mean, that was a game-changing call,
yes,
man.
It was major. Yes. But in the Super Bowl, there were more calls against Philly. Philly was flagged more often than Kansas City was. Maybe because people were paying attention.
Makeup calls.
Maybe because
I don't think it matters. Well, remember that first call?
Calls.
Leon was very upset early in the game and was sending texts after A.J. Brown was called for that offensive pass interference.
That was terrible.
It was
Twitter was a light, but he did hit him in the face mask a few times.
But then both of them got bad PI calls, actually.
After that.
That's the only thing that kind of evened it up for me. Because I thought the same thing when I saw it. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
This is going to be controversial, but then next thing you know, they lost by like 50 points.
Yeah, but nothing is worse than the pass interference call between the Saints and the Vikes way back when that cost me grands of cash. And there was no PI anywhere in sight with that.
Well, the next season they decided we need to start reviewing pass interference. Remember that?
Yeah, and then they took it away again
because it sucked.
Yeah, it didn't do anything any good for me.
You don't feel bad about your degen habits. Okay?
Yeah, but still, it was a chance for me to rake some cake. But I just like the fact, like I said, this is not loving on Joe Mixon or anything, but just getting off a shot on the refs. Rarely do you get away with that.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, listen. To be honest with you, that's all. When the game is over in the locker room, it's considered the off season. When what are they doing? It's considered the off season,
right? You can't find him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that is true.
Technically,
plus it was a great shot, and he wasn't technically saying that the refs were in the bag.
Right? You said it's a 50-50 call.
Right.
It's always one of the Chiefs. Yeah.
I don't see no wrong with it.
So I totally get it. All right, one other little piece of news, and we'll probably ask Gio about this tomorrow, but Aiden Hutchinson had that very ugly, nasty injury, broke his tibia and fibula in October, and was trying to come back in time for them to make it to the Super Bowl. Anyway, he has posted a video, and he is out working, running, doing a little more work, coming back from that bad boy. Don't know if he ever would have made it in time for the Super Bowl. If he's just now posting this video, wouldn't you say?
I would think no.
That's tough to come back from.
Yeah, it's not the injury that he has to come back from.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mental.
That's all. I mean, honestly, to be honest, when you go through an injury like that, now my most devastating injury was when I tore my quadriceps tendon, and it wasn't about the injury. It wasn't about the injury. Matt Hayes, when I tell him that my quadricep rolled up to my hip.
About it, man.
Gosh, it just hurts.
Didn't you say you could? It was like a shade, right? It just flopped.
It just rolled.
It just rolled. The first thing that happened, it was like a shotgun. It was like when I came off the ball, I heard pow, and I knew it was over. All I did was fall back.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't cry though. When I looked at my pads, I just said, "Well, damn."
Did you fall back and say this might be?
I was like, "Damn!" Because I didn't know it was that serious until I looked at in my pants lid. And my damn quadricep muscle was up here.
Oh my!
So it's like a snail that's flat and then just rolls up.
Yeah, that far. So I mean, 800. Say, I'm telling you, the best thing that's going to happen for him is that when he gets back out there and he pushes on guys and guys are around his feet, because you can't play scared. That's when you get hurt again.
No. One other good little thing that I saw, which is it feels good to know that you have a Madden in the game, and Madden has been part of our NFL world for gosh knows how long, as a coach, as a Super Bowl winning coach, and then as a commentator, and bam, and all the stuff that he would have. Jesse Madden is John Madden's grandson, and he's been hired as a quality control coach up in Washington.
Really?
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
And it reminded me when I saw this headline. So he's going to be up there with them, and I think he was with Michigan. He played defensive back, and so has a chance to go up there and be with Washington and just see what he can do coaching-wise, because it's in his family.
What's a quality control coach, Leon?
Quality control guy is
watches tape. And
he
breaks down
watches.
plays.
He do advanced scouting.
He watches tape, and what he used to do is watch tape and then write up scripts for practice, and then when the coaches got plays, he would write down the plays
and the scout team,
make them copy for the scout team. Yeah.
The gopher, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Because you know who was one here? I believe at the time you were here, I'm almost positive. Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Lane Kiffin was quality control here. And so he is going to be one of those guys up there. But then they finally made it official that Belichick hires his son. They finally made that.
Well, you know what the plan is. The plan is in 3 years, Steven's going to be the head coach there.
Yeah, that they said I've never coached in college football forever, but if I do come, I want my heir apparent to be my son.
I mean, here's another thing that's a great story that's actually I wrote for tomorrow is Belichick think about this. That money, the $20 million, okay? Belichick's going to want a lot of it. Do you give it to him, or do you give it to your elite gold standard basketball team that's dying on the vine right now?
Well, they said that they wanted to bring him in. They gave him a guaranteed contract.
They
3 years guaranteed.
They gave him $10 million. He's $10 million annually.
Yeah.
He has $10 million annually for assistants. That's 20. He has $5.3 million annually for support staff. So that's $25.3 million annually they're committing to him.
It just tells you how much is being brought in from football.
Right. So my point is, where do you think a majority of that and that pay for play money's going?
Football.
To football.
Over basketball.
Over basketball.
And I found out he rehired Natron.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome. Yep. We need to try and get him on.
Yeah, I'll get him. I'll get him.
Yeah.
But
he it shows you the importance of football when this is happening on a basketball campus. And we see more and more of that.
Football's everything.
Even though the SEC has committed more funds to create more eyeballs on a sport that wasn't necessarily one that they thrived in, but they now have done it in the basketball world. But there are others that are losing ground. Jim Boeheim would go nuts up in Syracuse because Syracuse basketball was way more important than Syracuse football. Yet they would have to take that money and devote it somehow, some way to football, be it recruiting, budget, whatever it might have been.
But even that, Syracuse football still got better ratings than basketball.
Maybe.
And that's kind of the whole thing. It's about television ratings, and it's Duke football gets better television ratings than Duke basketball.
Yeah, I'd have to see that.
In regular season, 100% they do. In the tournament, it's different.
I don't know if that's true, man.
Yeah, I'd have to see that.
Yeah, like their games are on ESPN.
JJ, Duke basketball games get like a 1.2 million, 1.4.
Duke football's on the ACC network.
Yeah, they're not even on TV. Trust me, I'm an ACC guy.
Dude, I'm telling you guys.
They're hard to find. They're on the CW.
Miami had a
that
draw.
Duke Miami game, I guarantee was bigger than any Duke basketball game. I mean, Duke North Carolina football game would be bigger than any Duke basketball game.
A Duke UNC basketball game would be. You're saying a Duke UNC football game would have a bigger rating than a Duke UNC basketball game, man?
I'm going to look it up right now.
Do you know how hard you have to look to find the ACC network?
Yeah.
It's in like the 1400s or something like that. It is way, way off the radar. But I would just bet that those numbers are comparable in terms of passion with eyeballs tuning in on Tobacco Road.
But don't you think this is all part of the problem, Matt, that like TV has too much say in college sports? So it's like killing rivalries and killing.
Hang on. The February 1st game between Duke and North Carolina, okay? Decent number, 2.29.
Mm-hmm.
That's like not even, that's disappointment if it's a football team, you get a 2.29.
Which, dude, maybe for an SEC team, not for Duke.
For Duke football, that'd be a solid number. Yeah, I agree.
That would be the best number they did all year.
But my point is that's the biggest game of the year for Duke.
Okay.
And that's what they get.
Mm-hmm. So Arkansas, Illinois, 5.1 on CBS Thanksgiving Day. I was just looking to see what some of the other numbers would be. It's still, I would think, when you're comparing
the tournament is different. Like the tournament gets good numbers.
Subpar football to marquee basketball, it would be a little. It would be
probably even, probably a push. Yeah. And again, the tournament way different. The tournament I've said this over and over. NCAA basketball is a tournament sport. And it's fun in the regular season, but nobody really watches it. The tournament is different.
Yeah,
it's a 5-week, Lollapalooza.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I wouldn't say nobody really watches it because there's still a lot of really good ones. Nothing compares to football. We just have to give that up. We have to surrender that.
When I mean nobody really watches it, I mean it's not must see. If it's on and you flip it through and you're like, oh, this is interesting, then you'll watch it.
Yeah,
it's not like you're setting your day around watching a college basketball regular season game.
But honestly, there are so many sports that are like that.
Yeah.
You catch you.
Except for football.
Yeah,
football, you like literally plan your day and your week.
No, I agree with that 100,000%. But we were talking about Duke basketball.
Yeah, Duke's still like a brand, a major brand.
That's the brand in college basketball.
But look, their biggest game, Duke's biggest game, was a 2.29 rating.
Mm-hmm. Hang on here.
Yeah, I was just comparing it to their football ratings, which I know are trash. And you're saying football drives more eyes, and you said even at Duke, and that's Clemson. There's no way.
Let's do the Duke Clemson TV rating, all right? 2.1.
All right, I'm just looking here. As one would expect.
Don't you think that's Clemson more?
Hang on.
More people watching Clemson.
Wait, that was basketball.
I'm just reading the story. As one would expect, the Tobacco Road rivalry still topped all other college basketball games for the weekend. For the day, it ranked second only to Lakers-Knicks NBA game on ABC, which only drew 2.5 million. So it does kind of give you an idea. There's a lot of different games to consume. That's first and foremost. All right.
Yeah, Duke Clemson was 4.7.
Okay. Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
Clemson.
4 million eyeballs. They'll take it. It's XL Primetime.
Living life on the edge of your seat.
Are you kidding me?
Your front row seat for play-by-play.
Break it free, they're not going to catch you.
1010 XL.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hey, John, have you heard about the incredible offers at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got rates as low as 3.9% for 36 and 48 months on the stunning 2024 Escalade.
That's right. Experience luxury like never before. Whether it's the exquisite interior or the advanced technology, every drive feels like a royal experience.
Visit Randy Marion Cadillac today on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget, Randy Marion is the king of price. Drive and indulge in luxury at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee with Resistol and approved credit.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Surprise!
Cross. What in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course.
Oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
When it's time for new tires, you can count on Big Chief Tire for quality and value. Frank Franchi here. Their expert team will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe, comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with great confidence. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 18, 1981, 20-year-old Edmonton center Wayne Gretzky becomes the first player in NHL history to score 5 career hat tricks before age 21.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hi, Jags fans. Walker Little here for my friends at Kingfish Pest Control. Playing offensive line in the NFL, I must block and protect on every down. When it comes to keeping my home pest-free, I expect that same level of protection. So I contacted Kingfish after seeing thousands of positive online customer reviews about their service. I can confirm from personal experience, bugs don't stand a chance getting past Kingfish Pest Control. Do what I did. Reach out to Kingfish Pest Control to protect your home, a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. Come join me in Helmets and Heels as we celebrate First Florida Credit Union's new Roosevelt location. Helmets and Heels will be broadcasting live from 6319 Roosevelt Boulevard from 12 to 2 p.m. this Thursday. Come learn about the many ways First Florida Credit Union is enriching people. There will be refreshments and cool giveaways. Come see Helmets and Heels this Thursday live from 12 to 2 p.m. at First Florida Credit Union's Roosevelt location. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
I-9 Sports invites parents on the First Coast to log on and check out what they can offer with sports year-round. Spring and summer registration open right now, and with ages 3 to 7, there's something for everyone. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code and get your kid in the game.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jacks cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is that got a youth movement going on here in Jacksonville with the coaching staff. Hope that translates into the draft, bring in some new energy in here. All I want for the first 3 picks is big, and more big. That's all I care about. I want big guys. If anything, the Super Bowl taught us is that the interior, the offensive line, the defensive line dominates. I'm glad that we're getting back to that, the importance of and you think about the Eagles, their offensive line, their 5 offensive linemen, their 4 defensive linemen, only one guy wasn't drafted. Only one guy wasn't drafted. That's Mekhi Becton. The rest of those guys were drafted and developed.
Mo Big.
And
by the way, we did have a texter point out, which reminded us that one of the guys that they did draft that stepped in replaced a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
Another guy they drafted and developed in Jason Kelce.
Meanwhile, 3 of the 5 linemen here were not drafted. And how many of that defensive line were drafted? 1 of the 3, I guess, right?
Yeah, 1.
Armstead, yeah. 1 of the 3. Yeah, I mean.
That was too low. I couldn't hear a word you said. You were saying that to yourself. Yeah.
Leon, you heard me, right? JJ,
but it was a little bit of.
Did you say only 1 out of the Jags defensive lineman's been drafted?
I'm not. I will not make fun of you. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so don't lead me down that road. Okay.
I'm just making sure that people get to hear you. That's all. Most everybody out there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, my takeaway is you guys can be all upset about this expansion, but when that championship week playing games, when those games begin in 26, you're going to be like, this is fantastic. When you have 16 games or you have 16 games where the winner's going into the tournament or has a chance to go in the tournament, because not all of them are going to go in with not all the non-SEC Big Ten are going in the tournament. But when you have that, that's going to be fun as hell to watch.
I will love it. I will soak it up. I will embrace it.
And those will all be campus games too, by the way.
I just want to see.
Other than the championship game, like the 3 underneath will be campus games.
Yeah.
I was told that I would enjoy the first round and everything this year as well. I didn't.
Yeah.
That's because for some reason they decided to throw Indiana in there and SMU in there. And,
I still soaked it up. But by the way,
I watched.
Just for comparative purposes, because this is what I really, really was looking forward to it. And then it did disappoint me. I'm not going to say it didn't, because there were moments or results that just sucked. But take a look at what happened in the NFL postseason. Okay, the team that I loved got blown out. Blown out. And then
blowed out, yeah.
And then the team that blew them out got blown out. And then the team that was supposedly unbeatable got blown out.
It's ED, Joe, blowed.
However you want to say it. I go blown out, but bloat out, however you want to say it. Because think about that. The Kansas City Chiefs were smoked in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, smoked.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions that look at home like they just could not be beat, lost in the divisional round. The team that beat them got smoked by the team that ultimately went on to win the Lombardi. So there's things that we can't expect. The LA Chargers went into Houston, and everyone thought Houston was going to lose that game, and Houston smoked them. So those were at least surprises, whereas the college football, there weren't too many surprises, and there were the same results.
Smoked.
I was surprised by one blowout, Ohio State over. Like the way they manhandled Oregon shocked me.
Yeah. Same with Tennessee, both.
I'm going to go with the Tennessee one too. That one.
Yeah, but when you're up on Oregon, what was it, 31-0 or 31
at halftime or something?
Ridiculous, yeah.
So I do believe, just to kind of we'll probably be arguing about this till the end of time, but the one result made you not pay attention to the next week a little less.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
Yeah,
that's 100% is.
Yeah.
But the reality is this too, JJ and Leon. Had you guys gone to Penn State in that first round in that brutal weather and lost 20-3, you'd have been so mad. So you avoided that.
Was the weather brutal?
Oh my! It was like 12 degrees.
Game? Yeah, but it wasn't like snowing or windy.
No, but it was like brutally cold and windy.
Listen, that offense was not scoring 3 points in any game. I don't care. I don't care what it was.
Exactly. So you think our consolation prize was the Park Tart Bowl? Really? Did we have any fun in that?
Did you even win that game? No, you didn't even win that game.
We lost the game. Yeah, we lost it.
Consolation.
So let's recap real quick.
Well, they were up at halftime. When
did you guys lose 3 of your last 4 games?
We did. We did.
Man, that's a bad look.
We started 9-0.
Cam and Mario had
look.
Hey, you can't even count bowl games now.
Exactly.
Okay?
How dare you?
Cam and
Right,
Mario
forget about the bowl games.
had a mutually agreed upon we're playing 30 minutes.
Exactly.
That's basically how
Well, then
that
you got to
went
run
down.
the score up as much as you can in 30 minutes then.
Before, you could count those bowl games, but now with all the stuff that's going on, not so much.
And
anymore.
sadly, he did score as much as he could, but the defense also gave up 30 points at halftime.
You know what's funny? Back to the NFL. Am I the only one who thinks like if the weather wasn't so bad with the Eagles and the Rams were really playing well at that point?
Oh yeah.
Would that have been a different game?
Okay, all right. The Rams made it close early, then Philadelphia stretched it out, and you're thinking, okay, they're gonna end up blowing them out, and then LA clawed their way back and
They
made
were
it a
really
close
playing well at the
game.
end of the
They're
season.
playing very well,
Yeah.
and that may be the last time you see Stafford in a Rams uniform.
But that's the
And it
important
was-
thing about home field advantage.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
everything.
They were a snowblower away.
Yeah.
If they listen, if they had a clear field, I think Stafford had a shot.
Yeah.
He was bringing it back.
One of it, I know there was at least I picked the Rams, and it was one of you two. I can't remember. I think it might have been you,
I
Matt.
picked the Rams.
Yeah, that we both smelled an upset,
Yeah.
thought that they had a chance, and they at least made it interesting towards the end. You mentioned consolation prize. The only consolation prize for the fans out there is they got to hear Leon say Pop-Tart Bowl one more time because they absolutely love that.
Oh, yeah.
They absolutely love that. My takeaway has nothing to do with show. I'm going to go donate blood. And so I try and do it every 56 days. You're eligible. And so if you can, do it because it's helping lots of people out there and they need it right now.
And you get huge, nasty cash.
Yeah, I get an extra 20 bones for it. So I will take that. No problem at all. And that's because they got to give stuff away to get people to show up. And you might get a free bag of chips.
Chips?
Or some peanut butter.
Wow.
Peanut butter cookies or something like that. You know, whatever it is.
They still have like the orange juice and like the chocolate ready for those who pass out.
Yeah, so you can go pick, and sometimes you may take more than one, but you go pick your peanut butter cookies or crackers, or
Are
your
you?
chips.
Let me ask you this: are you a turn your head away? You don't want to look at it, guy?
Oh no.
So you're all right looking at it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. The cool thing
See,
they
when
have
I get
now,
blood, I'm like looking away the whole time.
well, the cool thing they have now is that when you think they're about to pull the needle out, it's already out.
Really?
Yeah, because they got this kind of new contraption where as soon as they like kind of hit it, it just extracts the needle so fast.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can't feel it at all.
No.
So you only feel it going in.
You do feel it going in. It is a bigger needle, but I like every 56 days if you can because they're sending a lot of emails out right now saying, "Hey, we need more blood."
You wouldn't be able to take a Toradol shot back in the day when
No, I wouldn't.
because the needle's this big, bro.
I'm
my
not even looking
God.
at you right now.
I'm just
right?
saying.
And where did that
I've already
go?
heard the story from you, man.
Into buttocks,
See that?
the upper thigh.
What was the needle that went into your knee? That's the one that gets me.
Those were just.
Oh, that was the one where I had to drain. Wow, the burst a sac and my knee burst. So they used to have to drain my knee, 60 cc's of blood before every game.
I would surrender. I would just cry.
How big was that needle?
It was about that big, 60 cc's of blood. Then I took the Toradol shot so it could numb the pain, and then I crashed and burned that night after the game.
Like
after it wore out.
It's one thing to put the needle in the vein and it just doesn't hurt very much at all. But that one in the rear end,
yeah.
Because you're going to clench.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's going to bruise. Yeah, those are the ones.
Yeah, the ones in the rear end bruise. No doubt about it.
Oh, my gosh.
No doubt about
Well, you
it.
don't feel it because, I mean, you're doing it right before a game and you got all this adrenaline going on and stuff like that. So you keep it moving.
Right.
I'm saving all this audio for no context intros to the show.
All right, well, speaking of clenching.
I just thought of what I just said. That's pretty good, JJ. That's pretty good.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
Speaking of clenching, we say hello to the embedded and shredded Hayes Carline as they are on the campus, the beautiful campus. Now, you were in, what was it called? The Kenny Center, right, Hayes? Is that where we did our show the other day?
Yep. We're at the ballpark today at JU. We're getting ready for Gators versus Dolphins here, and it's really been a competitive rivalry. So it should be a good game tonight. So if you're looking for something to do, come on out to JU and watch the Gators take on the Dolphins.
I hear the ping in the background there. Ping.
Oh, yeah.
Ping.
Yeah, JU's on the field now. Florida's arrived, so they're just sort of taking in everything and the Gators will be out there in a few minutes. But yeah, JU warming up right now, and should be a lot of fun. We're going to be joined by Chris Hayes, the JU baseball coach. Jeff Cardozo will join us to talk Florida sports, and Alex Rickard-Gilbert as well, the JU athletics director. And Mr. Frangie is right now efforting to land Kevin O'Sullivan, the Florida baseball coach. So hopefully his attempts will be successful. So should be a really fun show coming up. We'll obviously talk lots of college baseball, but we'll do plenty of Jags and Gators basketball as well.
And so the GM, have you narrowed it down? I know you said yesterday you felt like they'll be able to make a decision by the end of the week, and then you got on them a little bit. What are you waiting on, type of thing? But have you zeroed in on a guy?
Well, there's a 9-year-old that I think really has a bright football mind, and I think that I think it's my guess is it'll be Cunningham. Mm-hmm. I think Gladstone has a decent chance.
I'm going outside shot, Gladstone.
Yeah, and I think Ethan Waugh is in the mix, but more of a minuscule chance there. And then the other two gentlemen, I don't think have much of a chance, but we'll see. Look, I mean, sometimes guys get into an interview and dazzle. So, so we'll see. My advice would be for the candidates to mention the phrase modern football every other sentence. And I think they have a chance to get this job based on how the Jaguars have operated to this point. And again, that's not a bad thing. It's obviously the Jaguars now want to be innovative, on the cutting edge, and to do that, you're going to hire young people. So, the timeline I wish was a little tighter, but I would expect that we'll have a decision by Friday afternoon, and then that new GM hire. Boy, do you hit the ground running. I mean, you're 72 hours and you're in Indianapolis. I would assume usually the Jaguars have the coach and GM talk at the combine. So you're talking about, you've been on the job for a few days, mm-hmm. and you're at the podium for 15 minutes with every reporter that wants to come up and ask you a question, which at the combine is over 600 people. So it's going to be baptism by fire for whoever this new GM is, but it'll be an exciting time. I think with Liam Cohen and the new GM we've talked about, there's an inexperience factor, but it'll be exciting just to see this new direction of Jaguars football and where it takes us. But I would think by Friday afternoon you should know who the GM is.
Yep, love it, man. Hopefully that will be the way you are envisioning it playing out. All right, brother, have fun out there at JU, and we'll be listening.
Sounds great. Thank you.
All right, Hayes, Franch, JJ, they got it all with Gators and Dolphins tonight. Good stuff from all of y'all. We always have a good time.
By the way, Randy from Middleburg, who's a nurse, says the one in the butt muscle hurts because you tighten your muscle. If you turn your foot inward, the foot where you're going to get the side of the butt where you're going to get the shot,
right?
It's impossible to flex your muscle, and it won't hurt.
Ooh. I'm actually trying to turn my foot and flex at the same time.
It's a little
possible. It's interesting.
About 30 years too late.
But not for me later. All right, thank you, sir. Always good stuff. We are done. We had a good time as always. Big Sirs, Maddie, Joe C, JJ. Got the Francis Show coming up.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.
Now, another classic moment in Jag